Hello everyone, I'm Barbara, and this is Bed Talk, where I'm talking about feminism to my son in my postpartum bed. Hello everyone, yes, I'm still wearing the same shirt that I wore in the last video. Sue me, then you think I have time to change? So today's video, I was thinking to send a message to my past self, to my 17-year-old self, which is also, can be useful for some now 17 years olds or younger or older people. Things that I think would have been useful for me if someone would have said to me, or maybe not, I don't know. The first of all is I would say to myself, my 17-year-old self, that you're not dumb. Just the school system is not for you. Is so not for you. I was really bored in school and I didn't care about anything, like at all. None of the subjects in high school was interesting for me, or it was like a little bit interested, but like not really. I was really inside my own world and I was imagining stuff. And yeah, so I was really in my own world. And I didn't care about school at all. I liked to go there because of my friends, because of the people who were there. But because of that, my grades were really bad. And I always thought that because I'm dumb, I'm not able to study. And it's not true. I realized later, like when I was 19, when I went to university, my second university, to the art university, where I had to learn art history and stuff that was like hard to learn. I realized okay, it's not about that I was dumb or I was not able to be study and do the work. It's just, first of all, I didn't care about the subjects. That is eventually fine. Like, why would you care? You're a kid, you should just play. But it's also like the way they were teaching me was not interesting. And for me, like someone just standing in front of me and just like talking in the same monotone way is not interesting. And they were not able to keep my attention. The second advice that I would tell to myself is that being sensitive is not something bad. Like, there were people who were trying to hurt me with this sentence that you're too sensitive. And it always hurted me. Like, I always thought it's something bad and it's something that I should be ashamed of. I always thought it's a weakness. It's a really an important thing to have. And I'm really grateful for it, because it gave me a lot of, I'm able to be entertained all the time. It will sound so weird, but like I really like to be sensitive. I learned a lot because of that, and I gained power, and I realized I like art and I'm good in it, and I'm enjoying art, music, films, and paintings, etc. And so it's not something bad, and it's not something that you should be ashamed of. So the third thing would be that it's okay that you don't know what you want to be. So when I was 17 and 18, there was the time that we should have realized what we want to do, where we want to go, which university we want to go to. And as I said before, I didn't care about any subject, so I didn't know where I want to go to. I didn't know what I wanted to be and like what should I do now. I was really clueless. And so my mom was suggesting to go to a communication school, which was all right, but I really didn't care that much still. There was marketing, and that was something that I was interested in, because I like that with doing certain things you can like manipulate. I don't know if it's that's eventually marketing, that's the right word, but it's not, because it's not why I liked it. It's like I like that certain things makes people feel in a certain way. And I think this is because it has a connection with art. Like marketing has a connection with art, obviously, because marketing is using art and it's using what we know in art. So I think that's why I liked it. And during this time, I realized I want to be an artist. I was 20 by this time. And this is connected to my fourth point, is that after high school, don't be scared to make a gap year, or even during university if you can. Like, don't be scared to take your time to travel if you can, to do some other shitty job that you don't like to do, but it would you would learn so much, and you would learn about yourself, you would learn about the world, and your world will open up, because until you finish high school, your whole world is high school and those few people who is around you, and then when you go out into the real world, because from there, if you go to university straight, then it's the world is a little bit wider, but it's still really, really closed. And so, like, going to like travel or doing something completely different would open up your world and your perspective, and you would understand more, and then that would help you to understand what you want to do in your life, and you would learn so much that would also help in your university. For example, in art, it was really important that I already spent like 4 years doing something completely different. I was studying in the communication school. I was doing this, I was doing that. I was working for a year in a horrible job that I didn't like. So I had some experiences, and with those experiences, I was much more when I went to the art university, and it helped me so much. But if you study something else in university, it still obviously would count and help. But, and this is my fifth point, I was able to do this because I was really privileged. My parents were helping me in this first university to get an apartment before I had this job, and I had help. And that's my fifth point, is that appreciate your family, that they are helping you financially, but they are also behind you if you have any problems. If of course my family is not perfect at all, but yeah, they were not the worst neither, and they are not the worst either. So there's a lot of time that I was able to count on them, and yeah, and that is a privilege that not everyone has. So it's important to be grateful for that. Okay, so the next thing I would say is that be careful about your finances. This is an advice that I would definitely say to my 17-year-old self, because I'm not really good at money. Like, I had to learn to keep my money. I don't know how to say. Like, I'm really generous. If I have money, like, I'm, inviting my friends to get drinks and stuff, and I'm like buying stuff. I used to, and now I'm not like that, thank God, anymore. But like, I was buying things that I don't need online, so, or in general, or in real life. Just be careful about your finances. That's really important. Yes, this is what the other thing I wanted to say about gap year. When you are in university, go with Erasmus. Use Erasmus if you are living in Europe, in the European Union, because this thing. But in America, you also have this thing that you can travel. With Erasmus is a scholarship, and you can like go to other countries for half a year, for 1 year, and your university will give you money. Not super much money, but it's an amount of money that can, you can get some apartment and some food and study abroad. And it's really important. I did this, so it's an advice that I did, so I wouldn't need it when I was 17, but I always like to say that to young people because it's so important, because it's really a good opportunity that you will never have. No one will give you money just like that. And also, it's because if you ever want to travel, it's the best way to start it. Like travel, like not just for a week, for a holiday, like actually travel, because it gives you some kind of safety feeling, secure system behind you, which is your university. So even if you're abroad and there's any kind of problem, you can always count on your university and they will help you. And if you are just traveling alone, no one will help you. No one will help you if you have some kind of problem. I also wrote down, don't get offended by things. That is also quite important. Like, people can say whatever they want to say, and it's mostly about themselves. It's not about you, so you don't have to be offended by it. Which is the same, that was similar to don't give a damn what other people think. You just do you, because there's only one of you, and you do whatever you want to do, and don't care about what other people think. Also, they don't really care about you. You just think that people care about you, but in reality they don't. Have a better posture. Yes, have a better posture. Take care of your posture, especially girls with big breasts. It's really important, because this would be another video, but yes, having big breasts cause you bad posture, and please really take care about that. No girl can steal your man, or the man that you like. If a man chooses another girl over you, then then you don't have to do anything with them. This means that it's not your man or woman, whatever, the person doesn't want you, then they don't want you, and that's it. And the last thing I wrote down is, every bad day, every hurtful experience is serving you to become the person that you are now. So I know it feels hard and depressing and sad, and you feel vulnerable, but this experience is serving you, and it's so important, and it's difficult to see it now, but later you will realize that everything is connected together, and it's for the reason that you can become the person who you are now, or who you will be. Depends on when you're watching this video, and if you're 17 or you're older. Anyway, so that's all the things that I was able to think this morning about this topic. I'm really curious about what are your points, so write me in the comments. Thank you for watching. Ciao!